Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm on my way to get my hair done. It's starting to look kind of, I don't know, bad. It just doesn't look very good. I originally, I've always rocked super, well no, that's not true. I'd say probably for the past 2 or 3 years, I've just rocked the solid jet black hair do, right? And I really liked it. I liked having just jet black hair. I thought it was really pretty. It kind of matched with my dark features on my face. But, you know, I wanted something different. It was summertime, so I wanted to go from jet black hair to blonde, which has not been easy. And it's definitely made my hair feel not as soft as it used to and whatever. But, you know, it's only hair, it grows back, and sometimes you just need to change it up. So I'm on my way to the my hairstylist, so she can, I don't know, do something with it. The problem that I have is I have so much natural red in my hair that when you dye it blonde or whatever, that red just really comes out. And I like red hair in other people, just not myself. It doesn't look good on me, in my opinion. So anyway, I'm on my way to get my hair done. Much needed. So I talked to the surgeon last night, you guys. That was really quick and painless, I guess, for the most part. He did, so I had a bunch of questions I wanted to ask him, and the question that I'm so mad that I didn't ask was if he was going to be removing my parathyroid. I forgot to ask him that. And then I forgot to ask him if there's always a chest port, a drainage port. That's something that kind of that's something that I wanted to know that I didn't ask. Just sorry, I made a quick decision to get over. Proved right, yeah. Anyway, I forgot to ask those 2 questions, but my husband came, which was useful because he was the one filling out the paperwork, because we made it just right on time, basically. My husband is slow, you guys. I'm like, okay, dude, we have to get there 15 minutes early, so you need to be home exactly at, 4:45 so we can get there on time. And it's I swear, I don't know, he's slow. He's a slow driver. He's very if it says 45 miles an hour, my husband will be the one driving 40. He's slow. I swear, maybe in a past life I was a race car driver, because I'm weaving in and out and, switching lanes and, hauling ass, basically. That's how I am. I mean, I'm not reckless, but I'm definitely more of an aggressive driver than my husband. Just blame it on the past life. My past life, I was a race car driver. Really, how long ago? I don't know. About 50 years ago. So anyway, my surgeon, he was this big, kind of burly, hay grid looking kind of guy, right? His hands were just huge, and I'm like, dude, how can those hands I think you'd want small little hands like me. I got really small hands to do surgery and get really in there, but nope, this man, his hands were just huge and kind of, I don't know, he was crazy big hands. And he was really nice, and I'm like, oh, actually, my grandma went to you 10 years ago to get her thyroid removed, and she had a really faint little scar, so, that's why I chose you to be my surgeon. He goes, what's your grandma's name? I told him my grandma's name. He's like, oh, I don't remember her. I don't know why, but so I said, oh, you don't remember her? Come on, you stuck your tongue down her throat while she was put out. And as soon as I said, I was like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have said that. But that's just how I joke around. And he took it the way he laughed, and he's like, oh yeah, now I remember. So that was good. One of my little bad moments popped out. I don't know. It's sometimes I just don't think before I speak. Actually, I do that a lot. I never kind of think I never think before I speak. I rarely do. And sometimes just, you know, it comes out. I'm a kind of naughty and I'm a little bit sarcastic and maybe witty. I don't know. So we were talking about it, and he was basically choking me out, feeling my thyroid. He goes, oh yeah, you do have a pretty big goiter, which now it's like, no one look at my Adam's apple. So he's like, yeah, you do have a big goiter. I do see your nodules. He's like, your only other option is to like burn it out, which there's no guarantee that it will shrink or, you know, go away. And so you're better off just doing the surgery. So I was like, okay, you know, I already made up my mind, that's fine. He said that I'm gonna have to get over my fear of needles, which that's just not gonna happen. Like, you can't, it's like me telling you to like get over a fear of like, I don't know, someone breaking your house. Like, how can you? Like, I'm gonna have to go to a lot of therapy probably to get over my fear of getting my blood drawn in needles, but you know, I can't just like get over it. But he told me to get over it. And he also said like they can't put the IV in after I'm knocked out, which is like weird to me. Like, I don't understand why, because I know for a fact when I got my tonsils taken out when I was in the 3rd grade that they put the IV in after I was asleep. So if they could do that when I was like 10 years old, why can't you do that now? So then he was like, okay, we're gonna schedule this in like 2 or so weeks, and 2 or 3 weeks depending on your levels and blah blah blah. So they have to like do a blood draw to see if your levels are normal, and then once the levels are normal, then they can operate. I said that's fine, I guess, but I am going on a cruise at the end of September. So is that going to be like a big deal? And he's like, where are you going to be going on this cruise? And I told him, he said, you know what? We don't want to risk like infection or, you know, something like a complication happens. We don't want to like, even though it's at the end of September, we don't want, you know, you to be like at risk for anything. So let's just schedule your surgery like tentatively, because depending on how your levels are, for after your cruise. And we're gonna schedule that probably the week of like the 7th, so somewhere in the week of October. So that's like good and bad. The good thing is like now I know like I can enjoy my cruise, I can eat, you know, eat my money's worth on the cruise, because when you go on a cruise ship, all you do is eat. I swear, that's like all you do is you eat. There's like buffets everywhere. Like my husband and I like to go on a cruise like every 6 months or so, because our spirit animals are like 60-year-old people, I guess, you know, with my thyroid and everything. That's probably what happened, you guys. I probably went on a cruise like a year ago, and I decided I liked cruising, and so does everyone else's grandmother, and I probably just ended up getting like thyroiditis or whatever, thyroid toxicosis, because I'm an old person at heart. Yeah, that's okay. So anyways, which is good, like kind of good to have it scheduled out until like, you know, October, because at least, you know, it's like nice out. It's like one of my favorite times of the year. It's I don't know, it makes me the happiest. So maybe, you know, being happy and going to surgery like is a good thing. It's not going to be like super hot or like rainy or not rainy, like snowy or something, because like here in Illinois we can have like crazy like winter storms, and you know, and then it's like, you know, balls to the walls hot outside. That's the other thing too. So October is a nice time, I guess, to have surgery, right? And I can enjoy the cruise and not have to worry about like an ugly healing wound, or, you know, like a ugly scar or whatever, and like photos with my family, and, you know, I can like just like enjoy myself. But at the same time, it's kind of bad because, like, you guys, I started this thyroid journey early June, like June 4th of this year of 2017, and I'm gonna be getting surgery now in October. So I mean, it's kind of like, you know, June, July, August, September, October, like 4 or 5 months at this point, like, out with this whole, you know, discovering that there's something wrong with my thyroid, to like kind of like the end result, which I think will end up being, you know, surgery. Well, it will be end up being surgery. So, you know, it is what it is. But sorry, car vlogs. I missed my turn, so I have to turn around. Turn around, turn around. That song's stuck in my head. Anyway, what else? He said that surgery is only like an hour and a half long, but I read online that surgery is like closer to like 3 hours. So either he's lying or the internet's lying. Someone's lying to me, or he's just that good where it's only gonna take him an hour and a half. I don't know. Midwest mentality, right? Like, just get it done, cut that crap out, and let's go. He said it's only an hour and a half. I should be totally mobile in like 3 days after surgery. You're gonna have to stay in at least a day in the hospital. Most people get out, you know, after a day in the hospital. Like, you want to make sure you eat and drink and go to the bathroom and everything. And I asked him, I said, so what's your opinion on gluten, or is it just like total nonsense? And he said it was just total nonsense. And I know some people will probably be like, no, gluten does amazing things, like to remove it if you have like a thyroid problem, da-da-da-da-da. But all my doctors have said that the gluten thing has just been like totally blown out of proportion, and that, you know, for some people, like, and like the one nurse practitioner said, yeah, for sure, some people feel like a great benefit from it, while other people, you know, it doesn't really make a difference. And I decided a while ago, you guys, I wasn't cutting out gluten. I'm not cutting out anything more. I'm a vegetarian of like 15 or 16 years now. You know, I already cut out a lot of stuff. And I think, I could tell you, when I turned 24, my body changed. It definitely, like, before I could eat like a whole big bag of M&Ms and a Diet Coke all day long. And I was, you know, I didn't just eat that, but I'm just like you saying that, like in general, like I could eat total crap and I wouldn't gain any weight, I'd be good. And then when I hit 24 and I started an office job where I was driving 2.5 hours one way to get into Chicago and 2.5 hours to get out of the city. Mind you, I'm only about 30 miles outside Chicago, but you think LA traffic is bad? Oh, you have nothing on Chicago traffic. It is so bad. And, you know, I was driving stick shift, so it was like, But I can tell you, like, my body just changed. It, you know, I gained like 20-something pounds because all you do is I was sitting in the car, and then I would sit at my office for like 8 hours a day or longer because, you know, I don't know, I know this isn't like super uncommon, but when you work in like a corporate office kind of job, usually people just kind of sit and they eat lunch at their desk, and you're just kind of like a corporate slave, you know, like that's all you do is you sit at your desk, you sit driving in your car to get there, you sit driving home, and you sit all day long. Well, what do you expect is going to happen? You're going to have a six-pack abs? No. You're going to gain weight. You're going to get secretary's ass, where your butt just kind of like, you know, gets all white and shit. Like, So that's why, you know, I decided I just want to work for myself. You know, I'll do like little side hustles now and again, but the corporate structure job is just not for me. My husband's lucky because he's a felony DUI prosecutor, so he's like half in his office filing paperwork, but then the other half is he's like, you know, in the courtroom making arguments and, you know, being all animated and stuff. And that's good for him. I don't think I can handle it. I'd be like, y'all are guilty, don't do the crime if you can't do the crime. Yeah. Or everyone's innocent today. I don't feel like coming in. Like, that's why I'm not an attorney. I I would be crooked too. I know myself. I would be the one that gets in trouble for, like, I don't know, doing something illegal, I guess. Oh, you're here for, you know, let me see what I can do to hook you up and get you a better sentence. Like, I just know myself. Like, I can't be trusted. I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm not like that bad. But if you're my friend, I got you. You were at my house the night of the 12th. What was that? Oh yeah, she was here. She was here, officer. Oh no, I don't know. She was here the whole night, as far as I could tell. Yeah. But, you know, I say that, you know, I'm just teasing, making the situation a little light. But that was really it, you guys. There was really nothing. There was really nothing to the whole, like, consultant thing. It took, like, literally, like, 30 minutes, and half of that was me filling out paperwork for the same things that you fill out at every place. So, is it hard to breathe? Well, sometimes. Do you get anxiety? Yeah. Have you ever gotten diarrhea? Sure. Like, you know, like, just the questions, like, the questions that, like, you overthink, and you go, of course. Yeah, of course I've had chest pains, but they're, you know, they're not really talking about, like, the anxiety. Or, do you get headaches? Yeah, I got a headache, like, 2 weeks ago. Or, you know, I feel like I have every single symptom on those, like, questions. Like, my favorite ones are, like the psychological ones. Like, do you ever get angry? I'm Italian Mexican. I was born angry. Or, like, have you ever been violent? And then it's kind of like, in my mind, I get, like, the montage of everything I've ever done that was, like, violent. You know, me, like, flipping a table, or, you know, I don't know. It's just, like, the montage. And then you're like, no, I'm not violent. But then it's like, yeah, biatch, you were violent. Like, you had your moments. But I think, you know, when they're obviously, like, asking you, do you ever feel violent? Or, like, anxiety or depression, they're talking, like, kind of like chronic, or, like, it's, like, a more of an issue, not because you were drunk at 18 years old and you got mad and you flipped a table at your college apartment. Not really talking about, like, that, Savannah, but, you know how it goes. My coffee's warm and it's warming my hands up. So, like I said, I'm on my way to get my hair done. I'm running a little bit behind schedule. I should be there at 11:22 now. There's just so much, like traffic, it seems, and, like, construction. Well, hey, you know, our roads are terrible. You get, like, the extremes of both. You get, like, really hot summers, and then you get, like, negative 23-degree winters. I love where I live. You get all 4 seasons, and sometimes you get all 4 seasons in a week. But if you're from the Midwest or Illinois, you know that's true. Or, like, Chicago area, you know that's true. You get all 4 seasons sometimes in a week, where it's, like, freezing hot, and then it's snowing outside, and then it's, like, shorts the same week. The only other thing, too, going back to the whole surgery thing, having to have surgery, and now it's going to be prolonged until October, I'm kind of more, like, dwelling on it now. Like, where I would have rather had the surgery done in 2 weeks, get it done and over with, so I could just, like, move on with my life. But this is now just, like, prolonging this, like, ongoing situation of this, like, thyroid saga. It just seems like it's always, like, going on. Like, it's now, my husband's like, oh yeah, Savannah, it's only been, like, a month of you, maybe a month or 2 of you going into the doctor and, you know, figuring things out. That's not too bad. And I said, Justin, no, honey, I started this back early June. He's like, well, I thought it was only, like, a month ago. No, baby, it wasn't a month ago. It's been, like, a few months, and it's actually, if you count 2013, it's been going on for years. And that was the other thing, too, with my surgeon. He's like, how long have you been, you know, had, like, symptoms and blah, blah, blah. And I told him the story about, like, how in 2013, my thyroid, you know, looked big, or, like, I had, like, a goiter, and then, I I got misdiagnosed with mononucleosis. And he's like, oh, okay, so this has been going on for like a number of years. So what's another like month of you or 2 months of you like waiting to get surgery, or almost like 2 months at this point? Or like, is it like 2 months or is it like a month? I don't know, whatever. It's August now, and yeah, almost like 2 months. I'm like, yeah. So he's like, I'm not too worried. And then the other thing too, which I liked him saying, now I'm a girl who gets like these like irrational like thoughts, or like, and I'll just come out and tell you. So I was like, you know, he's like, you're gonna have to be on a pill for the rest of your life and whatever. So I was like, okay, well here's my question. And I'm like, and it might be a little crazy, but like, what if there's like some kind of like national catastrophe where like a zombie apocalypse, you know, outbreak happens, and for whatever reason I can't get this medication, or like, I don't know, for some reason the world shuts down or whatever. Like, how long can you live without your thyroid medication? And he kind of laughs and he's like, you know, this isn't like a total out there question like you might think. He's like, most people wouldn't word it as a zombie apocalypse, you know, when outbreak will happen, but how long can you live without your thyroid medicine? You can live without it. You just wouldn't be like good to live without it. And if like you would be good, like if you forget to take your pill like a day or even like a week, you might not even like notice some of like the side effects, but that's not something you want to you know, go without for a while. Like, you don't want to go without it. And then he also said people back then, which I kind of want to do more research on it. Basically, my whole question was, is like, how long, like, you know, like, what if, like, the stupid what if questions, like, you know, I was driving overnight or something, or driving to a friend's house, and we've had it before where, like, a snowstorm hit, and there is no going home. Like, you better just stay right where you are, crash at your friend's house for the night, and then, like, worry about it, like, either the next day or the following day. So, like, that was basically, like, my question. Like, how long can I go without this medication, you know? And he was like, oh, yeah, you can go without it, like, pretty much, like, up to, like, a week. I wouldn't press it, but, you know, it's going to take a while to show those symptoms again of, like, hypothyroidism. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Because I guess once they remove your thyroid, then you become hypo. You have like the hypo instead of hyper, so that's why I said that. And then like the other thing was he said that people, and this is the thing that I wanted to look into, like I said, I've been a vegetarian for a really long time. Not that I plan on doing this, but he said people back then used to take animal thyroids and like grind them up and use that for like their own hormones for when they got their thyroids removed. But now it's all like synthetic and they don't use like animals anymore, which makes me super happy, because I don't know, that would be such like a dilemma. Like, do you take the medicine that has the animal product in it, or do you just not remove your thyroid? Like, what do you do? So I'm glad I don't have to make that decision, because I don't know if I could. It would be like really hard for me. But he said, you know, if ever worst came to worst, you could just like find an animal thyroid and eat it. So, oh, all right, Mr. Squirrel, it's either between you or I. It's gonna be you, I guess. But there, I made my decision. It wasn't that hard. Just kidding, you guys. But anyways, that was really it. Other than that, I'm supposed to see him before I go on my cruise in September and schedule like surgery. I'm supposed to talk to my endocrinologist to make sure that he's going to be available, because I guess he has to be there. I don't know. He has to be available the day of my surgery and all that good stuff. I told my grandma because I'm very close with her, and I told her, oh yeah, I saw Dr. Aaron. She's like, oh, how was he? Did he like remember me? And I said no, and I told her the whole tongue sticking down her throat thing, and she laughed. I'm glad everyone in my family or people around me know, like, I'm just teasing, and, you know, it's not so, like, you know, taboo. But she got a kick out of that one. And then, I told her, oh yeah, around like October 7th. And October 7th, I believe, falls on a Sunday anyways, but she's like, oh no, you can't get operated on October 7th. It's a bad day. Now, my grandma's into, like, numerology and everything, so I was like, oh, why, what's the significance of, like, I mean, October 7th, I know that's kind of just, like, one of those dates anyway that can, like, you know, be creepy, I guess, or, like, October 13th, like, Friday the 13th, one of those, like, it kind of sounds creepy. But I was like, why? She's like, that's the day my mother died. You can't do it then. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Good enough reason for me, but it's on a Sunday, and I really highly doubt a surgeon would even, like, want to operate on a Sunday. That would just be, like, totally ridiculous. So, that's it, you guys. There's really not much more. This video's already getting kind of long. But thanks for the journey, you know, coming on the journey with me. And, you know, if you like these videos, if you like them a little bit longer, let me know in the comment section. I'll make them longer. If you're more of like a 7-minute video type person, you know, let me know too. You know, I'm still working on this channel. I'm seeing what works, what doesn't work. You know, I want to be extremely real in my videos, and, you know, there's not really a whole lot of structure to them, I see. Like, I'm kind of all over the place, and part of it is probably just, like, my brain fog that I've been, like, really experiencing. And then the other part is probably, you know, my ADHD kicking in, too. Just, so I gotta kind of just play with it a little bit more, but this is just my vlog and my thoughts for the day, and, talking about the whole thyroid thing. If you had your thyroid removed, let me know too in the comment section. How long was your recovery? Did it, like, you know, what part hurt the most? Is there anything that you would recommend me to do prior to surgery? I mean, I have a couple months, so that's, like, more than what, like, a lot of people are given. So should I try to, like, you know, maybe go tanning so that way it might be look nicer on my skin for, like, a cut, or, like, I don't know, just any kind of random advice, I'll take it. Like or subscribe, that's always nice. If you have anything mean to say, you better not, I guess, because you just look like an asshole if you put something mean in the comment section. It doesn't make me look bad, it just makes you look bad. So that's all. Alright, peoples, I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.